Hey fam, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be doing our midweek news, comments, and reports. So I do hope that you all enjoy. Let us know how you're doing. What is this? 10 days, 11 days into the new year. Let us know how you're doing. And are you still stocking up? So let's jump right into today's video. This is Shauna over here at Moments with Us, and we're going to get right into these news, comments, and reports. All right, so the first thing I wanted to share is a picture of someone who shared in their Northeast Ohio, stating that there was no eggs, only a tad bit of butter, no whole milk, only the organic milk was available. And this is at a Costco in Northeast Ohio. Let us know how your bulk stores are looking. My local bulk store, BJ's, is actually starting to look very thin, but not thin as that Costco's. All right, so next from a Whole Foods, this was posted on the front of the egg refrigerators. Due to supply challenges, this item is temporarily unavailable. We are working to replenish our supply as quickly as possible. Thank you for understanding. So we're all starting to see these kind of notices around. Someone did ask in another video, do I honestly think that these notices will hit the United States? And as I did reply, they already have. So over in Cedar Falls, Iowa, now you guys can see that looks completely empty. Even if you look to the back, there is nothing. So let's zoom in and actually see what this notice said. So this is actually from a natural grocers. So it says supply issue. Due to supply issues, eggs are now limited to 2 cartons per customer. We appreciate your understanding. So in most states, eggs are low, of course. I don't mean low in price. I mean low on the shelves, high in price by now. So if you guys are facing crazy egg shortages as well, let us know in the comments down below. But if you actually still have plenty of eggs on your shelves, also let us know in the comments down below. Speaking of this crazy egg shortage, there's a lot of memes floating around on the internet. So someone did share, dozen farm fresh eggs will trade for a 2015 or newer Jeep. Don't try to lowball me. I know what I got. So eggs are becoming worth, I guess, more than a 2015 or newer Jeep, huh? So I thought that was pretty funny if you want to get a laugh in. But yes, eggs are becoming so valuable, especially farm fresh eggs. So if you do have a farmer near you and you are able to purchase farm fresh eggs, you are ahead of the game. You really are. Let us know if the farm fresh eggs actually cost more than the eggs that we're buying in the stores. Now, fam, we talked about this and it's serious because they're actually going to go ahead and try to push for this. So the U.S. Safety Agency to consider a ban on gas stoves amid health fears. So it says the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission will move to regulate gas stoves as new research links to childhood asthma. So the gas stoves are now the new reason of why children have asthma. We're just going to put a big little question mark right here. A big little question mark. A big question mark right here. And let's see what some people actually think about this. So someone did share that they're there in Canada, and it says, they really have already started banning wood stoves many years ago. Insurance companies will not insure you if you have one in your house. They are just accelerating the plan now. You know what? And I agree with this person. So also someone did share, just in case you want to switch over to a gas stove now if you are electric. Someone said also be aware some gas tops now have a regulator that the gas won't flow without electricity. You cannot just light them now in a power outage. I get the reasoning behind it, a fail safe. But make sure you research new stove tops, which actually is true because I had to find out the last stove that I had, it actually had this regulator and you couldn't just go underneath the stove and light it. But the older stoves, like the older appliances that, that was made, actually is better than these new appliances, especially when it came down to the stoves. I know that the newer stoves look all, they look nice and fashionable, but some of them do not have the option for you to go ahead and just light them up. So definitely be aware of that. So it says California already has a ban on gas stoves and is trying to move to ban all gas appliances. I think California will be one of the plenty states, but the first of plenty states actually to ban gas stoves. California have so many different type of laws in place, and I think Cali will be the first place, where we'll see a set amount of controls in place. So let's watch Cali a little bit close. Someone says this is why they wanted all these smart meters installed. They just shut off our gas or our electric. Someone else did share that it was on their local news tonight that they want to ban gas stoves because it causes asthma. So someone was told by a butcher to be sure to stock up on beef the next week or two because there's a beef shortage and prices will be rising significantly in the next 2 weeks. So let's actually dig into this. Here's an article from 2022 warning people that 2023 prices of meat would go up at a ridiculous amount and there will be a shortage on meat again. Now, meat shortage on the radar for 2023. Now, if you guys pay attention, this was actually written in 2022. But now we're starting to see it again, especially in red meat in particular. I'm seeing chicken actually pretty stocked up in some of my grocery stores. But now when it's coming back to like your steaks and, your pork chops and your beef and, all of that, I'm starting to see it look very, very bare again. I went to BJ's yesterday, guys, in the beef section and the pork section, actually. But mainly the beef section, they had things pushed to the front. Like, you had to pull from whatever you saw, what was in the front. Usually you'll be able to reach to the back to check the dates and see which one you want, according to how it looked. Yeah, you was not able to do that, but I will have a BJ's walkthrough. Not really a walkthrough, but BJ's pictures to share with you guys in another video. Ranchers in the Southwest are now in panic mode and selling off their cattle at an unprecedented pace as a result of terrible drought, which is completely ruining ranching there. So it says some farmers, they did decide to sell off their whole herds because they believe they have no other choice. So that actually did happen back in 2022. And that's when you guys saw the price of like beef drop. Also, it says everyone is commenting on how they have never seen anything like this. And if the Southwest continues to experience dryness, lines may soon become much longer. It says this will contribute to the short-term stabilization of meat prices, which will have extremely negative effects on our capacity to feed ourselves in 2023 and beyond. So food control, population control, control in general, it all falls in line on, what's going on. Definitely. So it says North Texas has emerged as the focal point of this escalating issue. Due to the drought, there is just not enough water or grass, which has caused a lot of ranchers to make some very difficult choices. So we actually did see back in 2022 when it was popping up in certain articles and news where they had certain ranchers, showing their cows, and the cows were just so skinny, and the price to feed them or they couldn't even obtain the food to feed them. It was a bunch of reasons, but their cows were so skinny, so they were taking them down, to be sold at a very low price. And then we actually started to see, beef prices started to drop. Beef started to go on sale in stores as well. Says that the ranchers are basically forced to sell smaller. So if any of you ever seen any of those videos or any of those pictures, them cows were really, they were skinny. Really skinny. And you see all of these ranchers, farmers at the auction selling them, and they look like they're in very bad condition. So not being able to keep up, with feeding them, then you can't keep up with the daily things that they need as well. And unfortunately, the expensive to have a farm, a ranch, it adds up, especially with, of course, keeping your animals alive as well. So it says ranching is, at its core, a business. These men are working as hard as they can to maximize their financial gain. Of course, the majority of Americans never even consider the origin of the meat they consume, but we should. We rely on a relatively tiny segment of the population to feed the majority of us. So, of course, he is correct. We need farmers and ranchers, but we don't show them nearly enough gratitude. There are serious reasons to be worried about the future. So this article also states how we are in our biggest global food crisis. Food supplies are already running low, and famines are already breaking out in many parts of the planet. So this person ends this article saying, now the day of judgment is almost here. I would strongly advise you to stock up on meat in the next week while it is still reasonably priced, since the forecast for 2023 and beyond is unfavorable. Remember, this article was written in 2022. It is now 2023, and the prices of beef meat meat in general is actually jumping back up unless you find a very good deal, a very good sale. But the prices are already jumping back up. If you did stock up in 2022 when all of this stuff did go on sale, you did great. And if you have not stocked up on meat, and you're concerned about the space, if you can get you maybe a tiny, not even a tiny, a nice medium size, maybe deep freezer, and store it in one of your corners, you can do that just to stock up on meat alone. That you can do that. You can. If you're not a canner, definitely start looking into those videos. There are things that you can do to actually store away your meat. But if you're gonna store away your meat, don't just keep it in the packages and throw it in there thinking it's gonna last for a year or so, because it's going to get freezer burn. You have to vacuum seal your meat. You have to store your meat away correctly so it would last. So among many of other shortages that we already expect a major meat shortage as well. So we're going to be ending the video, but I did want to share with you guys, as I walked into BJ's yesterday, I did notice that they have this sign out, and it says, we reserve the right to limit the number of items per purchase per trip on select products to allow more members to purchase essential items. Limits will be posted on applicable items throughout the club. We appreciate your patience and understanding. So before you even walk through the doors, they're letting you know there's a possibility of limits on certain items, and they have the right to put these limits on these items before you even start shopping. So that was something that I did not notice before, that was on the outside of, the door before you walk in. And then some forgotten pictures that I was about to forget to share. So over in Chiefland, Florida, hardly any chicken, hardly any pork, and hardly any beef for sale. So you guys be prepared for this major meat shortage that's approaching all of us, actually. So yes, we're going to go ahead and end this video here. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank you all for being a part of the Moments with Us community, because we get to share all of these moments that's happening, now in today's world, and it's a great thing that we get to share with each other. And when advice is needed, we definitely head to the comments, and people definitely share some great things. So thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in today's video. Be prepared as you can be. You understand? Be prepared as you can be. Don't let nobody tell you any different in saying, oh, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen, because everything that's being talked about is already happening. So be prepared as you can be. Do what you can do while you can do it. We're going to leave this right here where it's at. This is Shauna, and I'm checking out from Moments with Us. Things are just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Make sure you all stay prepped, stay blessed, and stay safe. Most of all, remain beautiful queens and kings. Much love and plenty of blessings to all of you. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, if you like today's video, you can consider subscribing. And if you've been here before, of course, thank you for tuning in.